Sports Southeast, the heart of the fan.
The week out west was very good for Atlanta. The Braves' bats, arms, and gloves helped Atlanta make history in Colorado. Ground ball. Olson's got it. Take it to the back. Matt Hill dive and win the race. And the Braves have swept the Rockies. They complete a 5-2 road trip with their first ever 4-game sweep in Colorado. Tonight, the Braves start a 6-game homestand as ex-Oakland star Matt Olson faces his former club for the first time. It's a battle of the A's. It's game 1 of 2. Braves and Athletics next on Bally Sports. World champion Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. Boy, it is great to be back home here in Atlanta after a great road trip out west. Atlanta welcomes an American League Western team, the Oakland Athletics, to town. The first time Matt Olson has faced his former team as a member of the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta's riding a season-high 5-game winning streak, and they welcome back 2 former friends, Christian Pache and Stephen Vogt, who got their World Series rings just a moment ago. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast booth. The Blues Brothers are with you here for game 1 between the Braves and the A's. Bertie, a great road trip for Atlanta. Everything went right. Can Atlanta keep up that momentum? Well, the right team's in town for that to happen tonight.
I think they can. And you know what, Chip? Sometimes it's a big walk-off, a big comeback, a big dog pile that turns the team around and gets them going. This time, it was Brian Snitker in that locker room getting on the guys saying, hey, this isn't us. We're a much better team. We need to play cleaner. And you see the results last 17 games. Offense has really stepped up, getting the base hits, good clean pitching, and good defense as well.
BJ, we mentioned Matt Olson, a former A, facing his old team for the first time tonight. These Braves are coming to town hot, and Matt Olson is hot as well.
He is. The last 2 weeks, he's been phenomenal. And it seems to me that he's starting to relax a little bit and be the Matt Olson that we expected. He's more aggressive at the plate. He's not taking as many walks. And with runners in scoring position, he's gotten much better. 28 RBIs, second behind Austin Riley. This guy has stepped up, and you're playing your former team. So I know he's playing with a chip on his shoulder tonight and have a big game, Paul.
I'm ready.
And oh, by the way, Atlanta has Kyle Wright, who's arguably been their best starter, going against Oakland in game 1 of this brief 2-game series. It's great to be back home. Let's see if the Braves can extend their winning streak to 6. It is the right time for that. Lineups, first pitch, and more coming away from Truist Park after the break. It's a warm, muggy night in Atlanta. Kyle Wright ready to bring the heat against the struggling Oakland A's, who just lost 9 of 10 games on their just completed homestand. Tony Kemp leads off. Former Brave Elvis Andrus is their shortstop. They just brought up Matt Davidson from the minor leagues. He's the 44th different player used by Oakland this year for their skipper, Mark Kotsay, a former Brave. So, look, let's face it, the A's are rebuilding. The Braves are not. This is a favorable matchup with Kyle Wright on the mound, fellas.
No, you got it, Chip. Good time to take advantage. Braves are hot. Coming off that road trip, you had that off day, but you want to carry momentum, and I love this guy on the hill.
79 degrees. It feels almost as humid for game 1 between the Braves and the A's. And Tony Kemp looks outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Kyle pitched great last time out, June 1st. 3 hits, 6 innings of shutout ball against the Diamondbacks. His 7th quality start of the 22 season. And there's his first strike of the night. Wright has had 4 games where he has not given up a run this year.
If you look back at Kyle Wright's season, he only had 1 bad inning all season.
This one golfed by Kemp into right center field for a base hit. Acuna over gingerly. He recovers to hold Kemp to a long single, and Wright out of the stretch immediately here in the top of the first inning. Guys, with Oakland in town, let's check out the 4 keys.
You know what? You got to keep your foot on the pedal, especially if you're in the offense. They've been doing everything right, driving the ball the other way, hitting with runners in scoring position. Keep it going tonight. And how about Kyle Wright? Don't take anything for granted. You look at those averages as a pitcher, you're saying, oh, I got this game in the bag. Watch out, folks.
I like that.
I would imagine a leadoff hit gets your attention, right?
Right off the bat.
Here's Elvis Andrus. And a swing and a miss. Look, Oakland's record 20-36. But interestingly enough, they have played their best baseball away from Oakland. They're a 500 team away from their home park. And they start a long road trip in Atlanta tonight. Mark Kotsay, in his first year as a big league manager, has his hands full in 2022. The pitch in the dirt. And a ball and a strike to the former Brave, Elvis Andrus.
Well, here's what I like about Wright. First 4 years in the big leagues, 15 home runs given up in 70 innings pitched. This year, only 3 in 59 2/3. I love it because if you keep the ball in front of your fielders on this team, man, you're going to get some outs.
There's the breaking ball, a beauty, and Andrus didn't get that. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wright making his 11th start. He's 5-3 on the year. And a 164 earned run average, with the exception of that 1 start Birdie mentioned in the open.
Yeah, Red Sox.
So let's see if Wright can finish off Elvis. And not to be with that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If there's something to keep an eye on, I think, with Kyle, it is pitch count, and it is that the number of walks have started to rise over his last 4 or 5. Don't want to give the A's offense any extra help. They have really struggled at the plate. The pitch. This one on the ground. It beats the shift. Back-to-back hits start the game. Kemp around seconds, going to throw out an anchor. And Elvis Andrus and Tony Kemp aboard with back-to-back singles and nobody out.
Taking what the defense gives them. You know, with 2 strikes, that's a good piece of hitting. Got his hands in. Andrus just looking to find a hole. When you got a shift on like that, it makes it easy.
2-seamer up. He just didn't quite get the bite on that, and unfortunately he does get the ground ball, which he wanted, but that shift pulled to the left doesn't get the result he was looking for.
But you know what? This is when Kyle Wright's at his best. 3, 4, 5, 6 hitters. Only 1 home run this year. 98 at bats.
Ramon Laureano is the hitter and takes a strike. And Birdie, I think this is the area where Kyle Wright's improvement is most noticed. When there's traffic, he's found a way to get out of it by and large, whereas in seasons before, didn't always work out that way.
Well, he's gone back to sinkers. He's gone back to his curveball, trademark pitch in college, which gets those ground balls. And when you get the ball on the ground, get some double plays, get a little confidence going. And then the last thing, his body language is so much better. He doesn't look like he's panicking when he has guys on base. He doesn't look like he's sweating, looking around like he can't find it. And hitters notice that. Your fielders notice that. And that's where he is growing up.
Laureano riding a 10-game hitting streak for Oakland. Has 2 on, nobody out. And that one all the way to the backstop, and on the ricochet, no chance for Contreras to field it, and a wild pitch puts runners at second and third with nobody out.
Changeup that he pulls and spikes to the left.
Wild pitch. So that hurts. That takes away the double play, barring a base running mistake. And Laureano, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Braves play back. They'll trade it out for a run here. The pitch. Outfield shades Laureano around toward right. Kyle about to make his 14th first inning pitch. And that is popped out of play to the right side over the netting. The count stays 2-2.
Now, Paul, on that wild pitch, are you surprised he threw a changeup this early against a right-hander?
I was, because it's not necessarily your ground ball pitch that you want in that situation. But if you're feeling it, catcher puts it down and you want to throw it, then you do that. But it did surprise me.
Fly ball left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. 1-run score. Streaking around third is Andrews. Here comes Harris's throw. That's cut off. And the A's have 3 consecutive hits and take a 2-0 lead.
This right there is exactly what I'm talking about in the game. You cannot take these guys lightly. Heck, they're playing with house money. They're a very young ball club trying to get better every game. They have nothing to lose, Paul.
I agree, and I don't want to say this is a bad pitch, but it's just up. Needed to get that ball down, and he gets a little flare into left center. Last couple hits have just been where we're not. You tell yourself that as a pitcher, and you just get back to throwing ground balls and start over.
So it's 2-0 Oakland. Jed Lowry, a veteran, is the designated hitter. Lowry with 5 hits in his last 34 tries. So Oakland 3 straight hits as they start their road trip. This is a club that's last in the big leagues in average, next to last in runs scored. They've got 2 with their first 3 hitters in the series. Fly ball center. Harris broke back, but it's popped up toward Dansby. That's sounded a lot harder than it was. Fooled me. Dansby Swanson makes the play as Lowry pops up to short. I watched Harris. He broke back, and it was like an old wet Sporting News in the infield dirt. So there's the first out. And here's Chad Pinder.
Yeah, tough sky right now. I got that little haze twilight.
Yep.
Andrew Jones in the house tonight with his son. So he'll be watching Harris out in center field. I don't know if we can get a grade later. Maybe he'll make a stellar catch.
On the ground, Dansby, third hop, second base for 1. Ozzie the turn, and Kyle Wright got a much-needed double play. First 3 hitters, things didn't go so well. The last 2, they went great. Oakland strikes for 2 in the first, and here come the Braves at home. Oakland strikes first in the first, but the Braves come home riding a 5-game winning streak. The Braves at 28-27, finally over 500 for the second time this year. Great to have Ronald Acuna Jr. leading off the Toyota starting 9. A late change to the lineup. Guillermo Heredia replaces Adam Duvall. Adam was scratched with a right triceps cramp, but we're told he's able to pinch hit if needed tonight for Brian Snitker's club, who takes aim at a familiar face. Cole Irvin, the former Philly, is now in rotation with the Athletics.
You got it. You see the numbers. Made the team last year out of spring training on the last day when he struck out a bunch of Dodgers. So they kept him. He gave him 178 innings last year. Did a nice job. This year, even better. You see the numbers. 1.61 ERA, 5 starts at home, 5.09 ERA on the road. So we'll see if the Braves can capitalize on his road woes.
First pitch strike to Acuna gets his game underway. Ronald, last 10 games, 8 RBIs, 4 extra base hits, and is coming off a 3-run score game out in Denver.
And the thing that I loved about his performance in Denver was he would take those singles to right field. He wasn't trying to do too much. Started getting his swing together, and then we saw him light it up his last at bat.
High fly ball center field. That's very well hit. Track wall. Lead off homer for Acuna.
Wow. 108 off the bat. 435. Ronald starts this game off with a bang. He goes yah. Straight away center field. You gotta love it.
His 24th career leadoff homer, his first of this season, and the Braves are on the board. It's a 2-1 game.
Just got to pitch up in the zone. A fastball, you can't miss it, and he did not miss that fastball, something that he was looking for. You know you're going to get some four-seamers, sinkers from this guy. He makes the mistake, getting that ball up, take advantage of it.
Does he mix it in some Trae Young over here?
Yes, he did, man. Yes, he did. Rock the baby to sleep.
Oh, my goodness. He puts a lot into those home run trots.
Shot foul to the right by Dansby Swanson into the seats. Another great crowd here at Truist Park. And the count to the Braves shortstop quickly is 0-2.
Well, I interviewed him in Colorado on the last day, and he said he was going to do that. Chip, he didn't waste a whole lot of time in making it happen.
A shot to left by Dansby. This one, though, is going to hang up. And Pinder makes the play for out number 1. I hope he does it 2 or 3 more times tonight.
No doubt about it. Look at that fastball up in the zone, 89 miles an hour. Ronald Acuna was not late on that swing. Here we go, the little bat flip. Oh, rock him to sleep, baby. Rock him to sleep.
The ice tray.
Oh, he even scored, too. Look at that.
And the LeBron, just to finish it up, folks. Man, I wish I was playing today.
What would you do?
I would do more than rock the baby to sleep. I would be all over spinning around the bases. Oh, it would be fun.
What about the Dirty Bird?
Oh, I would still do the Dirty Bird.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
Now, we have a booth cam here. We can let the audience see your rendition of what your home run act would be.
Well, hopefully we'll see one from Raleigh. I doubt it.
Well, Austin had a great road trip. 3 homers, 8 runs, 6 extra base hits. So Riley, who's had a bit of a roller coaster year, had that cold stretch for about 2 weeks. Well, he's starting to heat up just like the weather here at home.
He is. He's starting to relax and let that ball get deep and trust his hands. And man, the sky's the limit for this kid.
Chase that one up and out of the zone, and that's strikeout number 1 for Cole Irvin, who is not a strikeout pitcher. He relies on, as you guys said, contact to get his outs. So after the homer, 2 are away, and Matt Olson. What's going through his head, BJ, the first time in the batter's box against the A's?
You know what? Trying to calm himself down, because, you know, you're playing against your former team, good friends, but you know you want to have a great game, and you got to relax and slow the game down. You don't want to be too anxious. As we see him swing at that first pitch, I love it. Aggressive.
So what's the difference between being anxious and aggressive?
Well, for me, that's been his problem. He's been too laid back, taking too many pitches, taking his walks, and not being aggressive. And now that he's aggressive, he's driving in runs with runners in scoring position, and he has that attitude.
So I'm guessing anxious, if I understand you correctly. Anxious, you're so ready to go that you're swinging at everything. Aggressive is if you see your pitch, you get on it.
You're going to hack early in the count. Yes.
You're not going to take a fastball down the middle.
No, you're not.
Or swing at that one, which was up and out of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's gotten on base 89 times already this year. That's 8th best in all of big league baseball. Braves get a run back. It's a 2-1 score. We're in the first.
You know, I laugh when people come up to me and say he's struggling a little bit. I'm like, look at his numbers. He's not struggling too bad, folks.
Stroked into left field, a base hit. Hits are even at 2 apiece. And Olson's series against the A's off to a good start. That'll bring up Ozzie Albies.
Again, Paul, I love that approach, man. He swung 3 out of the 4 pitches. He's hacking at him.
Well, we know that he can crush, pull the ball, drive the ball to deep center. We saw that, the big 3-run homer in Colorado, just going the other way right here. Nice line drive. I know you like that kind of swing.
Yes, I do.
He's getting that chop down too, guys.
I know. Getting excited.
Ozzie Albies with a man aboard and 2 outs. That is rifled foul past third. Ozzie made a liar out of me. Almost guaranteed that he was going to hit a homer on the road trip. Didn't happen.
Yes.
But
How many games is that now, Chip?
Well, I hate to say it's 39.
Wow.
But tonight's the night to break out of that. And one here would put the Braves in front. April 23rd was Ozzie's last home run. That came against the Marlins. He's got a big hole right side with Irvin delivering. And off speed fooled him. It's quickly 0-2.
That's one thing righties are going to see out of Irvin late in the count. Those changeups, pretty nasty.
Well, it's great. The Braves got a run right back here in the first inning. As Ozzie digs in, Olson a short lead, and that missed badly. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Prior to Acuna's leadoff home run, Irvin had given up just 1 homer in his prior 34 innings. So he made a mistake, and Acuna didn't miss it. 1-2. And Ozzie chased one up and out of the zone, and that will retire the side. Ronald Acuna Jr. has hit 24 career leadoff homers. He gets the homestand off to a good start for the Braves at the plate. After one, Oakland leads Atlanta 2-1 at Truist Park. Ronald Acuna Jr. has the Braves on the board as we head to the second. Let's check in with our pal Nick Green, who's with us tonight. Hey, Green.
Hey, Chip. Yeah, we saw Matt Olson just get his first base hit against his former team. Well, we know he was there for 10 years. He got drafted by the A's in the first round of 2012. 2016 was his debut. He made the All-Star team in 2021, 2 Gold Gloves. He told me before the game that this was just like any other game. I don't know if I believe that, but I kind of like the results. I know I've been there before. I know there's got to be some sort of motion there, and he wants to do well against his former team. So far, so good, guys.
I don't know that I buy that.
Absolutely not. You got a chip on your shoulder, no doubt about it. I mean,
you're ready to go. You have to guard against trying to do too much. I will say, Matt Olson in that locker room, out on the field, is calm, cool, and collected all the time.
And when Nick said he knows what Matt's going through, you know, playing for a new team. It only happened to Nick 8 times. So he speaks from experience as Kyle Wright takes care of Seth Brown. A called third strike and 1 man out. Grady, great to have you tonight. You're part of the Blues Brothers too. Nice shirt tonight.
Yeah, nobody told me you guys were wearing blue, but I figured this looked nice with my pants, so I decided to wear it.
You did well.
Hey, one more note on Matt Olson, too. I asked him if there's anybody in particular that he wanted to see or was excited to see, and he said last night Chad Pinder and Tony Kemp came to his house, and they were able to visit some, and he wanted to see Jed Lowry today because he felt like he was a great veteran presence while he was there. So that was nice to hear as well.
Well, you think about who the A's traded away or let get away. Starling Marte, Mark Canha, Matt Chapman, Matt Olson. I mean, this is a team that, quite frankly, was gutted, and a team that last year had a pretty good run in the first half of the season before some late season fade. So they have some guys getting big league opportunities to open some eyes as Kyle Wright takes care of Brown and Davidson. 2 outs on 6 pitches, I believe, and back-to-back strikeouts.
This is that good curveball that he's brought back. Mid-80s straight down. That's what you see, the 12-6 versus the slider he was throwing earlier that had too much.
Wow, if he can locate that pitch all day, that's almost unhittable. That's unfair.
This is Sean Murphy. Murphy is the Oakland catcher. They were counting on him to be a big offensive producer, but talking to the Oakland people, he's kind of the only guy in their lineup. He doesn't have a whole lot of protection around him, and those results are reflected in those numbers on your screen.
And as a pitcher, if you don't have any protection around you in that lineup, I'm not going to pitch to you.
Wright did, and Murphy got a 1-strike pitch and smoked that into center. So 4 hits for the A's, all singles, and Christian Pache, the former Brave, will bat for the first time.
The old fastball down the middle. Changeup, excuse me.
Yeah, changeup. Can't get that changeup up in that zone. You got to keep it down.
I got confused because it was 87. That was my fastball. So, yeah.
Well, nice to see Christian Pache back in the big leagues with the Oakland A's. He was part of the deal that brought Matt Olson to Atlanta. Pache at 167 on the year. And this one blooped over first and curling foul for a strike. There's never been a question about Christian's defense. The question is, will he be able to hit enough to be a big-time, big-league offensive player?
Yeah, and he's a guy that you compared to Andrew Jones. That's a lot of pressure, and he was compared early in his career once the Braves got him. And to come up last year to perform the way he did, he showed potential that he can be a superstar. But you're right, he just hasn't hit yet, hasn't figured it out.
But he's in a great spot with a rebuilding team where he knows he's going to be in the lineup every day. and see big league pitching and see where it takes him. Right, got it by him. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Mark Kotsay, manager, said that he likes where he's trending. He's made some adjustments in his swing, and he works really hard, and he has a good attitude. You talked about the defense, so those other things are keeping him in this lineup and giving him a chance.
And that's so important. I mean, nowadays it's so different. You know, we went through the minor leagues. You played a lot of games before you got to the big leagues, but now these young guys are learning at the big league level. You know, they're getting those opportunities. Unfair to them, but, you know, fair to them. They're in the big leagues. But it's a learning curve that you hope one day that they'll figure out, or, you know, their career could be over pretty early.
Kyle Wright just struck out the side in the 2nd inning with a Murphy single sandwiched in between. He holds serve, and the Braves come back to the plate, down a run in the 2nd inning at home. World champion Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. Nice crowd is gathered on a warm, muggy Tuesday night. Oakland got 2 in the 1st inning. Ronald Acuna Jr. led off the game for the Braves with a solo home run. And now in the home 2nd, Ozuna Contreras and Guillermo Heredia are coming up against A's left-hander Cole Irvin. Well, you look up and down this lineup, guys. 3 weeks ago, we were wondering who was going to go on a streak. Now you look at the starting 9, there's 4 or 5 guys that are hot at the same time, and Ozuna's one of them. Marcell enters play with a 7-game hitting streak, 6 runs during those 7 games, and he's gotten on base in 20 of his last 21.
Yeah, 10 home runs, 23 RBIs. Starting to come around. He struggled early, couldn't handle that inside pitch, but all of a sudden he changed that. The thing that I like, though, about Ozuna is he's starting to take those singles the other way, especially with runners in scoring position.
It really has been noticeable, Bertie, and I'm sure as a former starting pitcher in the major leagues, that's a scary sight for this Atlanta offense to be doing that.
No, you're right. I love what BJ said before the game about not taking anything for granted.
That's rolled to short. Long throw, and Ozuna out by 2 steps, 1 away.
I think we've been waiting for this Braves team to take off because their personnel is so good. So you've done that over your last 5. You want to continue to do so. The speech by Brian Snitker was on point, perfect time. Players responded, and so all of this offense clicking now. Pitching has gotten better. Bullpen was fantastic on the road. Defense, you put all that together at a good time and a schedule where you should win some games. So don't take anything for granted and put your foot on the gas.
William Contreras gets the start behind the plate tonight, where he's hit 6 of his 7 home runs as the catcher. He's got 5 hits in his last 3 games. It's interesting you talk about that players meeting, the managers meeting, whatever you want to call it. A lot of folks think managers in today's game flip tables, throw spreads, yell, scream, kick their hat, and all of that. Snit told me that wasn't the case, but with that in mind, what does a meeting like that do for a major league club?
It wakes you up. And again, what I said earlier, which you may have been taking for granted, I'm going to be here. You know, all of a sudden you start scratching your head and looking at your average and really challenging yourself to get better. And to me, those meetings put you on notice.
Driven to right. That's well hit. That ball is off the padded wall. And it's a long single for Contreras. That was nicely played by Laureano and right off the padding. And the Braves have their 3rd hit. It comes BJ with 1 out.
Yeah, and I love his approach. I mean, you're facing a guy that pitches to contact, and he's going to try to throw away. Now, he let that ball come back across the middle, but look at the sights of Contreras. He was looking to go to right center field and drove the ball. Now, the batter before, Ozuna, a ball away, he tries to pull it. You can't do it. You got to go the other way, and you will have success, as we saw Contreras.
As we mentioned, Guillermo Heredia, a late add to the starting lineup. Adam Duvall scratched about 30-35 minutes before first pitch. Guillermo had a couple of hits on the road trip.
Both of them were extra base hits, a double, a triple, an RBI, and he scored a run.
Heredia is just in a tough position when you can't play every day. You know, like you said, the last couple of games he drove extra base hits, RBIs, but now you got to sit 4 or 5 games. It's tough.
BJ, you got
consistent.
the biggest arms on this broadcasting team. What is a tricep strain? Is he going to be all right?
Yeah, he'll be fine. And Chip said it. I mean, he'll be able to come off the bench late. Right now, just warming it up, heating it up, keeping it loose. Probably need to cut down on those biceps and tricep exercises.
It works for a broadcaster. I don't know a single broadcaster's ever had a strained tricep. That's easy. But hopefully Adams going to be all right as Heredia gets the start in game 1 tonight. Runner at first, Contreras, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that's down and away for an even count. Irvin's made a lot of hay in this game already. He's gotten a lot of swings and misses up and out of the strike zone. He's trying to get Heredia to fish here. Let's see if he goes up with a 2-2 count.
Lefty, 4 pitches for strikes, curveball, slider. BJ talked about the change. That's his out pitch.
Popped up. Kemp and Laureano. It'll be Kemp, the second baseman, and Heredia is the second out, and Michael Harris is coming up. Well, what can you say about this kid's first week and a half in the major leagues, huh? Great defensively, had a 5-game hitting streak. He's hit lefties, and he starts play tonight at .265 with 3 RBIs.
Well, this is what you hope to see out of this young man. I know it's a lot of pressure on him coming straight from Double-A. Not a lot of at-bats in the minor leagues, but he's getting off to a good start, especially defensively.
Catcher, shortstop, center field. If I just get great defense out of those positions, I'm super happy. If you give me some offense, even better. This guy's not only a playmaker in center field, but can run the bases. Great wheels, good arm, does a lot of things well.
And that's exactly what I was saying when he started playing here, making that first catch, diving catch with his hand, bare hand. That's what a pitcher wants to see, to know that he's protected behind him. Up the middle, center field. If you get great production out of them defensively, it makes your job a lot easier as a pitcher.
Yeah, Max Fried's facial recognition and expression after he made that catch was like, wow, he caught that?
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. With the bare hand play.
Yeah, he dove and caught it with his bare hand, but then his back leg was contorted behind the other one like a pretzel. I had no idea how he even got in that position, BJ. Some sort of yoga pose.
That's when you're laying it on a line. You don't care. You just want to make that catch.
1-2 pitch with 2 outs. And he fought that off to stay alive here in the Atlanta second. The A's got 3 consecutive hits to start the game. Laureano with a 2-run single. Ronald Acuna Jr. led off the first with his first leadoff homer of this season. So here we are, 2-1. Fought off a curveball. This is something else that's really good. He's putting together guys good at bats against left-handed pitching as a left-hand hitter.
He's actually hit better off lefties this year. That says a lot about him and Matt Olson. They love left-handers, which is unique.
Outfield shades him toward left. Big hole down the third base line if Michael can guide one that way. The pitch. It's not to be. A swing and a miss. 7 swings and misses for Cole Irvin so far in the game with 3 strikeouts, and we head to the third in a 1-run affair at Truist Park.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by the All-South Highway Safety Team. Play it safe, slow down. Kaiser Permanente. And by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
We're through 2 in Atlanta. Glad you're with us. Top of the order coming up for Oakland against Kyle Wright. He just struck out the side in the second inning. And Kyle Wright will face the 1-2-3 hitters for the Oakland A's. And he's our bright spot tonight, brought to you by Blue Moon. Can't do much better than what Kyle has done in his last 4 outings.
Oh, I love it. Mixing all of his pitches. You see the ERA, the whip, not walking a ton of guys. Little of this, little of that. So he continues to throw the 4-seamer up as well as the sinker, curve, and slider, and using in, out, up, down. He's just been very complete.
Well, let's see if he has an easier time with this top trio for the A's. Kemp, Andrews, and Laureano all with base hits to start the night. And off the plate to Tony, 2-1 your count.
I had mentioned growing up earlier. One of the ways you grow up is when you're down 2-1 or 2-0. You don't let it bother you. You take every inning one at a time. And same thing, you know, if you're up 5-0 throwing a shutout in the 5th, you don't relax. You take it as if the score is 0-0 and you bear down.
I've said if I can, BJ, about Kyle Wright, to me he's kind of Charlie Morton 2.0. Very similar pitching style with curveball fastball combo. But Bertie, to your point, what Charlie Morton did in the last game of the road trip in Colorado is a perfect example of the finished grown-up product you're talking about.
You're absolutely right. Giving up those runs early in Colorado, had nothing working.
Popped up, high sky. Dansby says he has it, and he moves over from the shift. 4 out, number 1.
And I'm not going to fake that. I mean that with all respect. He really had nothing working. And somehow he battles back, gets some zeros, gets hit in the hand, talks him into staying in the game. The next thing you know, he's thrown 5, giving his team a chance to win, saved the bullpen, and showed you how to navigate in the big leagues without your stuff in Colorado to give your team a chance. I thought it was his best start of the year.
He showed me something when the ball up the middle hit off his fingers. You know, anybody who would have been out there on that mound, young guy, would have probably left that game, because he didn't have his best stuff and he didn't want to pitch anymore. But Morton wanted the ball. He wanted to get through 5 and get that win. And he gave that bullpen a break, because we were a little worried early in that ball game that we were going to have to use that bullpen up. But that says a lot about Charlie Morton.
So again, as Kyle Wright continues this huge growth spurt in 2022, he bends but doesn't break, generally speaking. And he's down only 1 here, as he's got Elvis Andrus in the batter's box. Elvis Andrus, part of the big trade the Braves made to acquire Mark Teixeira, you'll recall.
Well, and he went on to be very successful in Texas.
Nothing and 2 bases empty from Wright, and that's poked into center. Harris on the run. Good jump. Still coming, and he'll get there for the 2nd out. Well, what a difference a couple of weeks makes, and this is meant with no disrespect to any of the Braves outfielders. When a ball like that goes up now, you're almost surprised when it's not an out.
No doubt about it. I mean, the great jump that Michael Harris got on that ball, and speed. Wow. You know what? You can't make that up. Speed. And he makes it look so easy. That was a long way. But he's taking control out there, too.
And on the very next pitch after the great catch, this is a routine one in center. Laureano retired. Kyle Wright gets him in order. Top of the order is coming up for the Braves. It's Ronald time. Stay tuned, everybody. 2-1 your score. All right, a little magic for the Braves in the 1st inning. Ronald Acuna Jr. provided that. Let's see if he can do it again here in the 3rd. Our Synovus Get There feature.
Well, it got there. It went a long way. 435 feet straight away center field. And there's the LeBron, but he did the old ice tray along the way. He just continues to add on different routines that he's seen by other stars in this league.
So exciting. You can say what you want about Ronald Acuna. For me, he's the most exciting player in baseball to watch. And when he swings the bat, those are the quickest hands in Major League Baseball for me.
So last 11 games for Ronald, 5 extra base hits, 9 RBIs. And playing more and more regularly, both offensively, Brian, and defensively, which is so important.
Which is great to see. This is his third game in a row in right field. It makes this defense much better when he's out there in the outfield. But it seems to me he's starting to get comfortable again, starting to trust that knee, and the power numbers are going to start coming.
And Chip, if I'm on the mound and I got a sinker and a four-seamer, sinker ground ball, four-seamer up for the fly ball, depending on my defense.
Fly ball again. Acuna deep left center. He's got 2 homers.
Wow, 115 off the bat, 464. Here we go at third base, and he's going to come through and do the LeBron. Oh, you got to love this kid. And I just said it, the power numbers are going to start coming. The knee feels good. His second yaya of the ball game.
Curveball down. He's already shown you that he can hit the high heat. Oh my goodness. These are the hands I'm talking about. Even in slow motion, they are fast. This crowd is on their feet. Putting on a show, BJ.
Yes, he is.
So the 8th time Ronald Acuna Jr. has had a multi-homer game, and now a shot by Dansby toward right. Laureano, though, at the edge of the track, is there for the first out. It's getting warm in Atlanta. The Braves bats are heating up, and nobody's hotter tonight than Ronald, who's broken out the ice tray twice.
I just learned a valuable broadcasting lesson, fellas. Do not tell a story or teach while Ronald Acuna's at the plate.
It could be quick.
So Irvin, who's only given up 5 homers coming in, has given up 2 in the first 2 innings tonight, both to Acuna, and the Braves are level 2-2.
What I was saying is if you have a better outfield, you may throw the high fastball. Better infield defense, you'll throw the ground ball pitch. This Braves team has it all. Great outfield defense, great infield. Gives you a lot of options.
Irvin got Riley with a high fastball his first time up. Got that one by him at 91. And the Braves' third sacker is behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 5 of Austin's 14 homers have come against left-handed pitching. The Braves have done a great job against southpaws, 13-6. But Riley not seeing Cole Irvin well yet. That's the second time Austin has struck out, 4 in total, and 2 are out in the inning.
Well, I think in the back of Riley's mind there, he's probably looking change-up, saying he has to come back with that change-up. And the fastball right down the middle kind of snuck up on him.
Matt Olson singled against his former mates in the Atlanta first inning. And that missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes. May sound funny, but here through 2 2/3 innings, guys, I'm not seeing any offensive Coors Field hangover for the Braves. Approach has been pretty good in a much smaller park.
Where you may see that a little bit later is with your relievers who have pitched in Colorado for 4 days, and you have to work really hard on your breaking balls. The hangover may, not necessarily may, occur on some of your breakers here where you spike some.
That missed outside to Matt. He's ahead in the count, 3 balls and a strike. 2-2 game. Both runs Acuna homers tonight.
Wow, good curveball there by Irvin. Matt is dialed in though.
The payoff is on the way. That is tipped and caught, and that will retire the side. Ronald Acuna Jr. is having himself a great night. 2 at bats, 2 solo homers, and they were not cheapies. That one golfed out to left center. It ties the game 2-2 after 3. Well, music fans in the Southeast will recognize this man. John Driscoll Hopkins, excuse me, is the man that threw out the ceremonial first pitch. Pretty good target. Little to the left. That's all right. I'll give you a 9 out of 10.
Just a bit outside.
Exactly. Hey, man, it's great to have you here. Obviously, this is a big day. The Braves are celebrating and remembering Lou Gehrig around Major League Baseball, and the Braves are taking part in that celebration today. You are here as well as part of your foundation. So first and foremost, welcome, and tell us about that.
Thank you. I was diagnosed with ALS in December, and it took a few months for us to get hoponacure.org figured out, and by now we've started to collect funds to support ALS research and try to find a cure. And you know, in my defense, my muscular control is still pretty intact on the guitar, but as far as baseballs go, it's pretty weak.
It's got to be rewarding in a way that there is so much more awareness about Lou Gehrig's disease, and that Major League Baseball is stepping to the plate, if you'll pardon the pun, to help find a cure, as you said.
I love it. In fact, I was a little surprised that this is the second annual Lou Gehrig Day. It's taken 80 years to get that going, but it was so rare then, and it's coming more into the mainstream understanding these days, but it's still really rare, and it's one of those things that we believe that we can fix. So
it seems that the awareness really increased 4, 5, 6 years ago, the Ice Bucket Challenge, all around our world, as it were.
It really did, and that was a fun opportunity for everyone to get involved and pour ice on each other. But I think even then, people still didn't exactly know what was going on with the disease. So we're continuing to explain how it affects people, and how we can make moves to fix it.
Tell us about your foundation and how people can help if they want to get on board with your charitable cause.
Yeah, you can go to hoponacure.org, and you can also text HOP, H-O-P, to 345-345 to make donations. And we just launched in May 20th, actually, and we are looking forward to many years of fundraising and putting those funds in hands that can do the most good.
Can we talk about some happy stuff?
Yeah.
10 days, it's going to be a big day here at Truist Park, huh?
What's happening in 10 days?
Is there a big concert here?
There's a band here?
That's what I heard. I don't know much about it, but maybe you can tell me.
You let bands play on this field?
Exactly. Why not?
Well, we can't wait. And, you know, we used to... a mile from here is the Dixie Tavern, and we used to play the Dixie Tavern every Tuesday night, and my band's going to be playing the Dixie Tavern the night before. So the 16th, I'm going to be at the Stomping Grounds, and then we're going to be here with Zac Brown Band on the 17th. So it's going to be a great weekend for music altogether, and the hometown crowd. We're glad to be home.
And you see on the screen, there's a great ticket combo pack for a ball game, the concert. This place is a fantastic baseball venue, as you know. There are some great concerts coming all summer long, and I know everybody can't wait to see your band.
Yep. Well, we can't wait. And that looked really good in that picture right there.
You do. Yeah. You do. Visiting with John Driscoll Hopkins of the Zac Brown Band here at Truist Park. Got a good game. 2-2 is the score. Got your whole entourage with you, too, huh?
Yeah, I got my girls. Grace is at camp right now, but I've got Hope and Faith and Jen here with me. They are very supportive and wonderful, big baseball fans. Hi.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you have a beautiful family. A lot to be thankful for, right?
Oh, there they are. There's the camera. Everybody wave over there. Wave over there.
I see show business in their future. They're not shy, are they?
No, they're having a big time.
Seth Brown, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2-2 game. As Kyle Wright goes back to work, and a little tapper. Kyle's going to get to that and flip to Olson. Runner moves up 90 feet, and 2 men are out. So what are you going to open with in the concert? You thought about the set list yet?
We have a totally different scenario this year. We have Robert Randolph as the support for the band, and he's an amazing R&B pedal steel player, and his band kills, and they play with us a little bit throughout. We brought in some horns, we brought in some background singers. The first set is kind of broken down. We don't want to reveal too much because it's a show in 3 acts.
Oh, cool.
So
wow.
it's a really big show for us, and it's going to look really amazing in a baseball stadium.
What is your favorite country song of all time, and why is that Chicken Fried?
Why is my You're not going to get me there. It's Your Cheating Heart. Your Cheating Heart by Hank Williams Sr. And
I was telling you mine.
yeah. You know, everybody, if they're lucky enough to get to this position, has their chicken fried. You know, Jimmy Buffett has Margaritaville, and you have to embrace a song that speaks to so many people. So we're still big fans of Chicken Fried, even if it may not be the first one we picked to play after 20 years.
How did you get involved in music?
I am from Gainesville, Georgia, and I was in the church choir and was in high school theater, and ended up going to Florida State, where I got a degree in theater, and I was in a band there, and just kind of stuck with music while I was in the band in Tallahassee, and moved to Atlanta in '95, and have been a lifer ever since.
As my dad used to say, why did Florida State steal our chop?
I think you'd get arguments.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
He just liked to stir it up.
Yeah.
Man, thinking back, I started out in the church singing, man. I wish I would have kept my career going.
Yeah, Brian's the one.
Yeah. I used to play baseball too, but we all see how that would have panned out.
You know who John reminds me of facially? Evan Gaddis.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a little Evan Gaddis look.
I get Meatloaf a lot. Yeah.
So do I. He need to drop 20 pounds, though.
Well, Gaddis got the same.
Visiting with John Driscoll Hopkins with us, as the Zach Brown Band will be here in about 10 days here at Truist Park. And again, hoponacure.org is his website, as he works so hard to help us find a cure for Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS. How about Ronald Acuna Jr.? What a night, huh?
Wow. Right out of the gate, 2 homers. That was exciting.
He's something else. As Kyle Wright tries to finish off this 4th inning. As Matt Davidson, a strikeout victim his first time, goes down swinging again. John Driscoll, it's so great to see you, man. Wish you all the best. Can't wait to see the concert, and let's find a cure, okay?
Thank you, guys.
Right. That's
Appreciate
right, man.
you.
Pleasure, man.
Appreciate
Pleasure.
you.
Fantastic.
2-2, bottom of the 4th inning in Atlanta.
Tie game 2-2, bottom of the 4th. Ozzie Albies set the lead off. Let's take a look at our landmark player comparison. Look at Albies' career. Left-handed and right-handed from the left side, 250 from the right side, 330. We know how good he is right-handed. He's working on getting better from the left side as well. I talked to Kevin Seitzer earlier about his left-handed swing, and he was talking about how he needs to pick a location versus picking a pitch. Sometimes he chases too many pitches because he's picking a pitch versus a location. Wants him to sit fastball opposite field, left-handed, and hit the off-speed to the pull side. But Ozzie's continuing to make adjustments. We know how well he swings the bat right-handed, guys.
And he's up right-handed to start the Braves' 4th inning. Tie game 2 apiece. Albies, Ozuna, and Contreras coming up. And he reaches for the first one, pops it up. Murphy behind the plate, right behind the tomahawk. And 1 pitch retires Ozzie Albies. 1 out.
That's one spot he needs to improve on. You know, to me, you give away a bat right there. Instead of sitting back, waiting for your pitch, you reach out there and you pop it straight up. You got to be frustrated with yourself after popping up to the catcher. Love to see him sit back and wait for his pitch. I love his aggressiveness, but you got to be aggressive in the strike zone.
Love the hit by Greeny, telling us what he's thinking, what they're attempting. He's already got 2 hits from the sidelines, and it's only the 4th. Gretchen usually makes me wait till the 7th before that happens.
Marcell Ozuna grounded out to short his first time up, and in the blink of an eye is behind 0-2. Tell you what, Irvin's around the strike zone. 14 balls, 55 pitches. So he is filling up that strike zone. The pitch, and that's yanked out of play, foul. You know who this guy's reminding me of is Kyle Freeland. The way he pitched against the Braves in Denver. Everything in.
And right here, Ozuna must be looking for a pitch. He took 2 fastballs down the middle. And then he saw that off-speed pitch and he swung at it.
Well, that's kind of the thing I want to ask you, because on Greeny's hit, which I again really liked, people will say sit fastball always and then adjust to breaking ball. And then you may have Chipper Jones who will take a pitch right down the middle because he's looking for that curve and he's waiting for that curve. So which did you do, or what's the better approach?
Chipper, don't even put Chipper in that category, man. I mean, he's an incredible hitter right there. And, you know, I'm just going to give you an example. You know, Chipper, I hit behind Chipper in '99, won the MVP.
That's why.
That's why. I was protecting him.
Yeah.
But no, I learned so much from Chipper. You know, it was one game where he went up there saying, BJ, he throws me the changeup, I'm going to hit it to the moon.
Sharply hit to short. Elvis Andrus, plenty of time.
He said, I'm going to hit it to the moon if you throw a changeup. Well, Chipper went up there and saw 3 fastballs blown by him. He did not take the bat off his shoulder, and he walks by me, and I'm saying, dude, what are you doing? He didn't throw me the changeup. That's the difference between great hitters. The very next scenario, we were on deck waiting to hit, and I said, Chip, what are you looking for now? He said, he's going to throw me the changeup. I'm going to hit it to the moon. And sure enough, he threw him a changeup, and Chipper hit it to the moon. To me, that is why he's he's a Hall of Famer. Just one of the greatest hitters I hit behind. But a lot of guys can't do that. But Ozuna, he's a guy that can wait on the pitch. And if he gets it, he's not going to miss it.
That's hit the other way by Contreras. He's got 2 hits. Big turnaround first. Laureano's got a cannon. You're not going to run on him. And a seeing eye single for William makes him 2 for 2. He's aboard with 2 out.
And what makes this guy so great is he's not afraid to go the other way. His power is the right center. That ball's off the end of the bat. But at least he was aggressive enough to know that if it's a ball off the plate, I can still get to it. And I'm going that way anyway. Playing off the line, that's an easy base hit there.
And it looked to me that his body was guessing in, and he still found a way to work it the other way. That's the sign of a great hitter.
Heredia popped out to second his first time up. Braves trying to break a 2-2 tie. And that's taken upstairs. 1-2. BJ, what you talked about with Chipper sounds like what we used to call setting up a pitcher. That's another one of those things that sounds like it's sort of a lost art in the game today.
It is a lost art, really. Guys don't have the patience to set up pitchers. That's something that I've noticed. You know, they go up there being too aggressive, swinging out of the strike zone. That's not how you set up a pitcher. You have to have a plan going up. Willie McGee was the best of that.
The best.
2-0 pitch.
He would have a terrible swing, step out, take his helmet off, scratch his head, and that pitcher thinks he got him. He throws that very same pitch, and Willie will knock it in the gap somewhere or out of the ballpark.
Willie McGee won a batting title one year,
yes, he did. Yes.
I think he finished with Oakland, as a matter of fact, after all those great years with the Cardinals. 2-1 pitch. That buzzed the tower. 3 balls and a strike.
Willie McGee and Ozzie Smith, great mentors to have for me growing up.
Harris on deck. Let's see if Heredia gets a fastball in a 3-1 count. Don't see that too often in the game anymore either. The pitch. He got one, but it missed low, and Heredia extends the inning. 2 on, 2 out. Lefty versus lefty. Harris versus Irvin in the Atlanta 4th. That is Cole's first walk in the game. And let's see what Michael can do. He struck out his first time up. While the A's discuss this strategy, let's enjoy a quick message from Truist.
Jessica was born to care.
That's my best friend. She don't need no.
Miss Hogan's class? It's Atlantis.
Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care.
Mark Kotsay has his bullpen working. Domingo Acevedo is getting ready, already in the game. Contreras, the lead runner. Heredia at first. 2 on, 2 out. Didn't mean to. That cost him a strike right off the knuckles. 0-1. With a runner at second base, the A's don't shift nearly as dramatically for Harris in this fourth inning. Andrews just to the third base side of the second base bag. Davidson trying to fill up that hole between third and short.
I watched Michael Harris take batting practice, and he was swinging from the right side. He used to be a switch hitter in high school. And I said, why did you stop? Because it looked like a real good swing.
Because he can hit left-handed too. This one though to left center field, and Christian Pache flags that down, and the Braves strand a pair in the fourth. Good ball game. Game one. Braves and A's tied 2 apiece. There's your score after 4 in Atlanta. For every home run hit by the Braves over the next 4 years, Truist will donate $755 to the Atlanta Braves Foundation's Henry Louis Aaron Fund with a minimum commitment of $1 million. Here's an update entering tonight's play. The Braves have hit 69 home runs, and they've raised over $52,000 in that stretch. Ronald Acuna Jr.'s added 2 homers with his work tonight, and he'll lead off the 5th inning when we get there after Kyle Wright takes care of his business in the top half versus Oakland.
If I did my math right, Ronald's good for $1,510 in his first 2 at-bats.
And he leads off again. Watch out. How nice would that be? Another leadoff home run for his third one of the game.
Boy, he's into charity. Raising money.
Sean Murphy with a second inning single. The A's are carrying 3 catchers with a bit of an asterisk. Stephen Vogt, who got his World Series ring, was one of the 7 catchers used by the Braves last year, is on the Oakland roster. And so is an old familiar face. First the pitch. Remember Christian Bethancourt?
Oh, yeah.
Christian Bethancourt is on this Oakland A's team. Christian Bethancourt was the Braves opening day catcher in 2015.
Wow.
Been that long.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So after a long spell between big league opportunities, Bethancourt's gotten one with Oakland this year. Good for him.
Stephen Vogt, a very important part of the Braves team last year. Everybody talks about the big pickups. He doesn't get talked about as much. He and Jock Peterson walked into that locker room and said, why the sadness?
Right.
You know, I don't recognize this team. Playing them on the other side previous years, there's a lot of energy, and we thought this is the place to be. What happened? He and Peterson got together and said, let's try to do what we can to make the culture in that locker room a little more upbeat. Let's get back to having fun again. They did. Next thing you know, World Series champions.
Rifled toward right center field. Harris on the run, lays out and makes a great catch.
Wow.
Look at Andrews' reaction. When you get a whoa out of Andrew, you know that's some kind of play.
That's Andrew Jones like right there. I've seen it too many times out of Andrew. Wow, look at Eddie Perez back there in the bullpen. I like it. Andrew and his son saying, whoa.
What a great shot that was.
Little tapper back to the mound. And an easy flip takes care of Pache. I can't wait to see us do the StatCast metrics on how far and how fast Michael went to get that ball. It was curling away from him in right center field.
Yeah, speed kills.
I thought he had no chance. Let me tell you, when you're on the hill and you turn around and you're like, okay, that's a double, maybe triple, and you see your guy full extension lay out and make the catch, there's few better feelings.
And you got to love it, man, when you give your all-out effort right there. A lot of guys would have pulled up early and played it off the wall, but a young kid, Michael Harris, he has the range. He trusts himself. He can go get it.
Bunt try. It's too hard by Kemp. Right to Olson, and that's the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Wow, Michael Harris went 28.5 feet per second to make this grab in right center. 2-2 game. Well, guys, Ronald Acuna Jr. is 2 for 2 in the biggest way possible. Each of his solo home runs have led off an inning. And here he comes leading off the 5th inning, trying to untie a 2-2 score.
Just amazing. In Colorado, his last at bat, he goes, I mean, a bullet out to left field. And I'm just saying, he's starting to get healthy, feel comfortable with that knee. And already 2 home runs this game.
Ronald scored 3 runs in the Sunday finale at Coors Field. He scored 2 runs tonight. And this one on the ground should end his perfect game as Elvis Andrus throws him out. That's how the 5th inning starts. 1 up, 1 down. Here's Dansby. He's hit the ball in the air twice, once to left, once to right. Kind of like Dansby in that number 2 spot in the lineup.
I would agree. I think he's the guy that really, when you look at the numbers in the last 5 wins in a row, the win streak, he's the guy that really has turned his season around. Rough first month, a lot of strikeouts, to settling in number 2 spot.
Stroked into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. He didn't waste any time. And Dansby keeps up his good work, Birdie, hitting second for the Braves. He's 1 for 3 tonight.
You got a Chip, hitting .362 in the 2-hole. I like it. Stay on the breaking ball, BJ, head down, doesn't try to do too much. That's a good pitch.
It is. He's just staying back so good. He's trusting his hands. He's not afraid to drive the ball the other way, but if you leave it across the middle end, he's going to turn on you. But it's just good to see him being consistent.
And I think, Chip, you're going to make a great play in the outfield call on Dansby later. He's good for 1 a game.
Let's see if he gets frisky on the base pass. Swanson 9 out of 10 in steals. Left-handed pitcher on the mound makes that a little tougher. And Austin Riley trying to make some contact for the first time tonight. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
Yeah, Austin's trying to figure him out. I think he's waiting on that changeup. He got it right there and he couldn't pull the trigger. That's when you got a pitcher in your head. You know, he got you with 2 fastballs up in the zone, then all of a sudden you're waiting on that changeup and he throws it to you and you don't swing.
You hear in that dugout, I can never see the ball, or I always guess wrong on this guy, or this guy's got something on me.
One ball, 1 strike. Matt Olson waits on deck. Ozzie Albies will follow him. We're in the 5th inning. Oakland got 2 runs on the game's first 3 hits from the first 3 batters. Acuna 2 solo home runs. Kyle Wright has been excellent since that first Oakland trio. The pitch is corked down a play to the right, where a fan from Roswell, Georgia, makes the catch.
Was that Roswell?
Yep. Roswell section sits right down below us.
I had that Decatur because I saw seat 12. I was off.
Well, if it was Decatur, they drop it. Roswell always catches it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. With Dansby at first, the pitch. All right. What do you do here? Lefty on the mound, tight game, trying to get Riley going, trying to steal the lead here. Do you send the runner?
Yeah, Dansby. Why not?
He's got a good lead. And he's going. And it's golfed out of play. That one's hit to the Decatur section. And after it bounced 3 or 4 times, that fan picked it up here in the Braves' 5th. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gentle breeze blowing out toward right center. This is one of the muggiest nights we've had so far in the young season at Truist Park. But another great crowd on a Tuesday night. Runner goes again, and Riley tipped and caught. The throw to second is going to be in plenty of time, and that's a strike him out, throw him out, double play. Riley swung at ball 4, and he's out on strikes for the 3rd time in the game. To the 6th we go. We're still tied 2 apiece. 2-2 after 5 in Atlanta. Let's check out the best coverage in the game. Our T-Mobile coverage cam. You saw Stephen Vogt in the dugout for the A's. Christian Pache made their way across the diamond in front of the Braves dugout, where Brian Snitker and Travis d'Arnaud presented them with their 2021 championship rings. And the reactions of the former Braves getting that hardware never gets old.
No, I love it, man. I love when we have guys come back and get those rings and celebrate how hard they work with the Braves and the things that they did. Like you said, Paul, Vogt brought the leadership and the fun back in the clubhouse. And Pache, man, made some great plays during the tough times of the playoffs.
They're rewarded with the greatest World Series rings of all time.
So Kyle Wright, after a shaky start, has given up only 2 hits since the first 3 batters in the game. He has struck out 5. He hasn't walked anybody, which is great to see. And his 69th pitch of the night misses outside badly to Elvis Andrus, who leads off as the A's second place hitter. Andrus, Laureano, and Lowry coming up.
That last pitch is called a pull. That's when you pull it to the left. When you fly open is when you miss arm side away from your target. Most pitchers miss arm side. He's pulled a lot of baseballs tonight.
Squaring around, did that affect it any? And just squared around the bunt. Does that affect the pitcher where he pulls that ball?
It could be, but usually when you square around, if you catch it early enough and you're throwing a fastball, the hardest pitch to bunt is high, so you may try to throw the ball up in the strike zone and abandon if you were going away.
Chopper toward third. Riley's got that. Cap high and a perfect strike. Nice comeback. Elvis Andrus 1 for 3. He's retired. Laureano a 2-run single will be the next hitter. But first, a quick message from Zaxby's.
It's the new Signature Club with bacon and cheese, remixed by Zaxby's.
6 up, 6 down for Kyle Wright. Laureano. His numbers are not as gaudy as you'd expect. There's a reason for that. Laureano was activated May 8th. He was suspended for PEDs. Fly ball hit toward left center field. Heredia on the run, says he's got it, shy of the track. Wright's retired 7 straight. Boy, Atlanta's outfield defense, man, oh man, they're covering some ground, BJ.
They are, man, and that's what makes a pitcher's job a lot easier when you know you got speed out there, guys that can cover those gaps, and it's just fun to see. I mean, we are a better team when we have good outfielders out there.
That ball scared me, Chip. I think I was used to Colorado. You talked about it being muggy. I don't know how muggy it is, but you certainly notice it after coming from the thin air in Arizona and Colorado.
Yeah, so when folks say, and we do it all the time, hey, it's a comfortable 101 degrees out in Phoenix. It was. No humidity. It is very thick here tonight. As we started at 79 degrees, the pitch is corked toward right. Acuna will retreat, and Ronald's got room a step or 2 away from the wall. 3 up, 3 down. 8 up, 8 down for Kyle Wright. Matt Olson leads off in a tie game. Let's see if Matt Olson can break a 2-2 tie as the Braves and A's battle in the 6th inning tonight. Matt's our Bringing the Lumber feature, brought to you by our friends at Yellowwood. The A's are facing a man that's getting hot at just the right time.
Yes, he is heating up. Last 8 games, 314, 7 extra base hits, 12 RBIs. This is what you expect out of him.
But he jumps on the first pitch, hits it right into the shift, and 1 pitch. 1 out. So Matt is 1 for 3. Ozzie is 0 for 2. He struck out and he has popped out. Well, let's see if Ozzie can make an adjustment.
It's turned into a good little pitching duel. The old phrase, get to a good starting pitcher early, holds true tonight. Both pitchers didn't settle in right away.
Swing and a drive. Will that break the spell? Deep left. That ball is off the wall. Ozzie hits it off the middle of the left center field wall on a 1-0 count. He just missed a home run, but that's an Atlanta double, and he represents the go-ahead run.
Wow, he squared that ball up. I thought it was gone, but it had to feel good for him. And look, he's been getting those 1 hits a game. You know, we're waiting for that breakout. It's coming. You know, when you're squaring up at least 1 a game, you're starting to feel it. Man, this is a perfect swing. Curveball coming back across the middle of the plate, or change up. And he crushed that ball.
Really nice adjustment. Ozzie popped one of those up earlier. This time does a little better. And what is that, BJ? Is that the bench press? Weight
no,
homer if you hit the weights.
Yeah, I think all those guys are pulling for that home run. He needs one bad.
New pitcher on for the A's. We'll tell you who that is after the break.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, Delta Airlines, keep climbing, and by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
It's Ronald Acuna Jr. in a cloud of dust offensively for the Braves so far tonight. 2 solo home runs, but Atlanta threatens in the 6th inning. They have chased Cole Irvin. Mark Kotsay has gone to his bullpen, and we'll get our first look at Domingo Acevedo, who's been a very busy man. This is already his 26th game of the season.
You see the numbers: fastball, slider, changeup.
Talk about that humidity. He is on fire right now. He is sweating up a storm.
Well, let's see how Domingo does on Martes. Here in Atlanta, he'll face Marcell Ozuna, who's grounded out twice. One reason why Kotsay went to get Acevedo here, he's only given up 4 hits all year with runners in scoring position. So he's pitched the A's out of some trouble. Let's see if Marcell can change that and break the deadlock. The pitch. And that floats in for a strike.
That's the slider. You're going to see over 53% of those, and much higher with the runner on second base, scoring position, righty on righty.
But as a hitter going in, you got a new pitcher, man, on second. You know he wants to throw that first pitch strike. I would love to see Ozuna swinging.
Time called. Marcell might have been distracted just as Acevedo came to the belt. Kemp moved from the first base side to the third base side of second base, right behind Ozzie Albies, trying to keep him a step closer in case of contact. But that opens up a big hole between first and second. The pitch almost hit him. Man, that ball was boring in on his kneecaps, and Marcell backed away for an even count.
That's that pitch away, and it looks like he's trying to pull that pitch. You got to go the other way, which he's done a good job this season lately.
Well, he's got a hit with 2 strikes now. Change up, 4-seamer, sliders so far for Ozuna in this sequence. And now the 1-2 pitch. Almost hit him again.
Wow, he missed big time. The catcher jumps to the outside, and wow, lost control of that sinker, hard sinker.
So he's thrown that fastball in the same spot twice. Is that a pitch, BJ, that Ozuna can eliminate in this at bat, you think?
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure if you're Ozuna, he's going to go back on the outside where you just swung and missed. He's setting you up off the plate to go away. Those sneaky pitchers.
Let's see what he does. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Little pop. And at first, that'll be handled by Brown, and That takes care of Ozuna. Ozzy still at second. 2 outs now, and Contreras, the hitter, he's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. Good night for William tonight. Has his batting average over 300 now. He's up to 311. And now a 4-game hitting streak. Stands to reason when you're on a winning streak and you come out of Arizona and Colorado, guys are going to have good numbers with runners in scoring position. William is no exception to that. He's 6 for 18 in run scoring spots. Let's see if he can continue his perfect night.
And one thing the Braves have been really good at, 2-out RBIs.
They had a lot of them in Colorado, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
BJ, you talk about his strength being to right center field. You see Pache now scoot over in that area on the Oakland defense. The secret's out.
I would love to see that same hit he hit last time right down first base line. In a perfect spot.
Oh, had that covered and fouled it straight back.
Three for 10, 2 outs with runners in scoring position.
Acevedo was originally a Yankees international free agent signee 10 years ago. Now way ahead, 0-2 for Contreras. Time called again late.
It's a pretty big guy to be calling timeout that late.
As long as you don't start your arm path, you're okay with it. But once you do that and time is called, that's where a lot of frustration kicks in.
And Contreras chased that ball down and away. A slider got him, and Acevedo does what he's done all year. He puts out a fire, and Irvin leaves the game, allowing just 2 runs through 6. Hey, it's time for an Xfinity game break. National League East action down in Miami. Jazz Chisholm. Look at this ball. That's a wiry hitter with a lot of pop. He just hit a grand slam. And the Marlins are routing the Nationals. That's a 12-1 score in the bottom of the 7th inning. We will see the Nationals on our upcoming road trip. Washington and Chicago, the stops for the Braves. Part of this run, guys, of 29 straight games against sub-500 teams. And the Braves are doing good work. They're 11-6 so far in that stretch.
Yep, but if you notice, Jazz did not do the ice tray, as Ronald Acuna has shown us a couple times here tonight.
But he's such a good player, man. He's a superstar in the making.
And Chip, you said it, wiry. You don't expect a guy that runs that well, that's, I guess, that build to have that kind of power.
So a good night for Chisholm and the Marlins. Let's see if Kyle Wright can continue his good night. He has retired 8 straight Oakland hitters. He's allowed just 2 singles after the first 3 batters reached with base hits. Kyle to this point has not walked a hitter. He has struck out 5. And giving the Braves length. His pitch count's in good shape. He's got the middle to bottom part of their order. If he gets a quick 7th, send him back out for the 8th. Great crowd in Atlanta, 33,981. As you know, the Braves went over 1 million in attendance during our last homestand. Summer is out. Braves are rolling. And so glad to have so many here tonight. 1-2 to Pinder is off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chad has singled and hit into a double play. That one too far outside. Pinder and Seth Brown, 2 strikeout candidates in this lineup for Oakland, both with high strikeout percentages. See the economy with which Kyle Wright has worked and his payoff. It ricochets off Contreras. Where did that get him?
Oh, man.
The old days, there did not used to be a pad there. But even still, that looked like it hurt.
Opponents hit 121 with 2 strikes off right.
Little chopper, Riley at the bag. Got a good hop and makes a perfect throw. There's out number 1. Monday, June 20th, the Braves start a 3-day series against the Giants with another exciting bobblehead giveaway. First 15,000 fans here at Truist Park get the Dale Murphy Power Alley bobblehead presented by Xfinity. Make sure you arrive early to add this great bobblehead to your Braves collection. Get your tickets today and check out additional bobblehead giveaways at braves.com/promos. Seth Brown, the hitter. Inside corner strike. Wright's retired 9 straight. He got Brown on a comebacker last time. He's also struck him out looking. This guy had a very impressive rookie year last year, hit 20 home runs. He has 5 so far this year.
Paul, I love that sinker away from that lefty. Man, if he could hit that spot again.
I agree. Even the foul ball off Contreras showed in slow-mo that sinker and how difficult it is to hit, because when you're the hitter and you read that and you see that and you commit, and then you have late movement, not just movement, but late movement on that sinker. That's where you get all the miss hits and the weak ground balls.
Rolled over into the shift. Riley takes the third hop and the peg to first in plenty of time. 10 up, 10 down for Kyle Wright. Once he gets Matt Davidson, we will send it to the stretch. It's presented by Synovus. Kelly Kroll hosting tonight. Peter Moylan and the Georgia Bulldog Gordon Beckham will be along to talk about Ronald Acuna Jr.'s big night. Ronald will be due up third when the Braves hit, so you want to stick around for the stretch and join us right after for the home 7th of this 2-2 game. Matt Davidson has struck out twice. He was the Pacific Coast League Player of the Week with 5 homers, 11 RBIs in 6 games. So they brought him up to try to jumpstart this Oakland offense, which has the lowest batting average in the major leagues, 29th in runs scored and 29th in slugging percentage, and just lost 9 out of 10 at home. They've been shut out 7 times so far in 2022. But to your point earlier, guys, you talked about the growth and maturity of a young pitcher. Kyle Wright didn't panic, gave up 2 first-inning runs, and has been electric ever since.
Absolutely right, and this is what you want, giving your team a chance to win. Acuna has been all the offense that you needed to keep the game tied, and you tell yourself as a pitcher, hey, we got a great offense. I just got to hold it close.
Swing and a miss. 11 up, 11 down for Kyle Wright. He is rolling. 8, 9, and 1 coming up. But first things first, Kelly, it's time for the stretch. We send it out to you here at the Battery Atlanta.
The Stretch is brought to you by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
Welcome into the stretch presented by Synovus. We're all knotted up at 2 as we head to the bottom half of the 7th, and it is no surprise that leading the way on this evening is a man who has been at a tear at the plate, of course, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Swing and a drive. That's not a single. That is a missile.
That was a bullet.
112 miles an hour off the bat.
Ronald Acuna, hero of the game. Is there anything else you can pack into that home run trot? You got it all going.
Bueno, yo creo que sí, hay algo así que hace Trae Young.
I think I'm going to do the Trae Young ice tray celebration next.
Well, I tell you what, we didn't have to wait very long to see the Trae Young ice tray. You could feel this building, Gordo. He was taking his singles, he was taking his doubles, but tonight he said, you know what? I've had enough of that. I'm going to put the power stroke in, and he absolutely delivered. What a performance by Ronald Acuna Jr. tonight.
Yeah, absolutely awesome, and his swing just is so locked in right now. I mean, the fact that he's letting that ball travel, and then he's able to just backspin it out to center field, and then what he's doing, he's keeping the same approach. He's allowing that ball to travel, and oh, hey, it's a hanging breaking ball. I'll just go ahead and hit that 450 to left center. No big deal. He's locked in. Last 3 at bats, homers. Or, excuse me, 3 out of the last 4.
There you go. He promised and he delivered.
Right.
And I think it is a little icy at Truist Park tonight, is it not? Okay, you didn't like that. Okay, back to Braves baseball after a quick word from our friends at Synovus.
Opportunity won't always come to you, but with Synovus as your bank, you can always go towards it. Synovus, get there.
Hey, Kelly, we get your point. It's kind of tough, though, to be icy when we've got 73% humidity at the ballpark. But her point's well taken. Everybody's having a good time. 33,000 plus here tonight. We feast our eyes on a new pitcher for Oakland. It's Lou Trevino. He was their closer last year, but Trevino had some issues. Danny Jimenez came in, became the closer, and now Trevino has become the setup man for the Athletics. And you see with that ERA, he's had some trouble. He's got 3 losses. Let's pin number 4 on him here tonight as he starts the 7th with Heredia, Harris, and then Ronald Acuna Jr. It's so great that we have these interleague games, as Trevino having some pitch com problems. It has been a while since the fans in the Bay Area who follow their American League team have seen the Braves or Ronald Acuna Jr. on their TV or in their ballpark. And they are being treated tonight with a 2-homer game. As Heredia digs in, and he unloads high in the air down the left field line. First pitch, track, wall, ambush, and the Braves lead.
Who said you had to hit it off hard off the bat with that velocity? Only 100 off the bat. But Heredia, man, just keep giving this guy opportunities. He's going to take advantage. Love his defense and love the power stroke. Got a pitch down and in. Man.
Yeah, big league hitter's not going to miss that, is he?
Look at him walking down to first base with the bat in his hand. Like he's done that too often.
You guys know I sit at the corner of the dugout a lot, and let me just say that his energy is out of hand. It's consistent. He is such a good encourager of other people. To see him get his chance, start, hit the home run, come through. Yeah, fantastic.
And as you guys said, his playing time has been sporadic at best. How good must that feel to get a last-second start and contribute offensively, as well as making a couple of good catches in the outfield tonight?
You know, that's when you're at your best. When you're sitting around the locker room, you're sitting there like, oh, I'm going to be on the bench again, cheering these guys on, and at the last second, you get the call. Now, you don't have any time to think. You just go out there and play and deliver like Heredia did. He had a walk earlier. Now he hits a home run.
That ball scorched by Harris to center, but Pache is smooth as silk. He puts that away. And there is out number 1. 3 solo homers by the Braves. Heredia on the first pitch breaks the tie.
Look at that ball sinking right back into his swing. Down in the zone. Talk about the angle of his bat. Holy cow. Everything worked perfect. Look at his teammates over there. That's another guy that don't play a lot, but when he plays, he delivers. Arcia.
And he's had a great year offensively as well.
So the Braves have the lead in the 7th, 3-2. Here's Ronald, 2 homers tonight. You ever have a 3-homer game, BJ?
Well, Chip, I can't say that I have. I only had 2 home runs one game. I did have a 2-home run game, multi-home run, but never 3.
What about at Richmond?
The Spiders.
Don't get caught in the web.
Don't get caught in the web, but I didn't get caught in the web. I didn't hit 3 there either.
I was a speed guy, Paul. Come on,
got
gap to gap.
Well, Chip, you didn't ask me, but you know, back in Little League.
Yep.
Louisville, Kentucky.
I was going to ask you, how many 3-homer games did you give up?
Oh, that's, you know what? That's a great question. I'll say 0, simply because I would be out of the game before I gave up the third.
1-1 pitch.
I was about to say, you better be sure with that answer, because you know.
Dr. No is looking as we
Hal
speak.
is looking right now.
Well, when you're talking about the same person, I'll say yeah. But a number of 3 home run games just because I was a fly ball pitcher.
Yep.
But, you know, probably won 5-3.
1-2 pitch is high for Ronald. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
No need to look any of that up.
Well, Hagalima says you had 4 such games in 2002. Oh, 4 in a game.
Oh, he gave up 4 home runs in a game.
Okay. We don't want to talk about that one, do we?
Thanks, Hal.
Hey, Paul, you should know by now he's with you wintertime.
I mean,
hey, did they win that game, though? That's all Paul cares about.
No. Well, that was I was protecting the bullpen that game, guys. Okay, being a good team player.
I love it.
Hey, and on the positive side, you came in second place that day.
There you go.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch is caught on a missed. Ronald chased one, and he's retired for the second out. How about that?
Oh, man.
Man, I love it when big league guys do that.
Man, he must be feeling real good after that home run. I hope that wasn't a home run bat, though.
No, we got to get that back. If that's the case.
No, that's a nice gesture. I love it.
It's fantastic.
Dansby has a single tonight. He's 1 for 3. The pitch. All too often we talk about what players don't do. I think it's great that our crew caught that moment and show that these guys care about the fans. They love them.
And that kid's going to remember that the rest of his life.
This guy hitting right here signs autographs. Austin Riley autographs. And then Michael Harris out today after BP. Everybody had gone back in. He's out signing for fans in early BP. I love when I see things like that, and had that headband on right there.
On the ground, deep short. Andrews' gloves won't have a play. Infield hit for Dansby. He's got a 2-hit night.
And another thing, just to add to that about Dansby, we had the long road trip, and I had a golf tournament that next morning for LGE, who raises a lot of money for different charities. And who was there that morning speaking? Dansby Swanson. I love what he does in the community outside of baseball. And you're talking about getting up early after a long trip. That's dedication right there to the community.
Well, let's see if Austin Riley can make some contact. He's had a tough night at the plate. Last time up, he struck out into a double play. "14 homers, 31 driven in for the Braves third baseman. He's played a great defensive hot corner tonight. The A's know that Dansby's not afraid to take off and run here. He's only been caught stealing twice on the season. The Braves would love an insurance run. They lead 3-2 on 3 solo homers. And Riley pops this up. That's headed back toward the netting and into the Truist Club seats. It's strike 1 for Austin Riley. No balls, 2 strikes. And that will end the Atlanta 7th. But Guillermo Heredia, with the very first pitch he saw, has hit a solo home run, his 3rd of the season. 3 solo homers, and Kyle Wright enough through 7. Braves now lead for the first time, 3-2. As we go to the 8th inning, here is our game nugget brought to you by Chick-fil-A, fellas. Kyle Wright's chasing some history tonight.
There you see it. Innings pitched 7, so he has never gotten an out in the 8th inning. He has a chance to do so here. 90 pitches. There's room for another 10, 15.
Sean Murphy leads off, and a big swing and a miss. Kyle Wright is rolling, BJ. He's retired the last 11 in order.
Yeah, he's been excellent getting ahead of hitters after that first inning and just blowing them away. Throwing all his pitches, sinkers, curveballs, changeups. But I got to say, young pitcher like this, Paul, he's given you 7 great innings. You got the lead now 3-2. Is it about that trust we talk about with Snit?
I think so. This is a perfect time to forge into new territory. I don't know what's going to happen here, but has he deserved this? Yeah, absolutely. And remember when Ian Anderson was taken out throwing a no-hitter last year in the playoffs, the World Series? But he was shaky every inning. You weren't sure what was going to happen, and he's been anything but shaky. Now, if he would have given up 2 in the 7th like he did in the 1st, maybe you would see a reliever in here now, Minter, but he's had some low-stress pitches, and I like it.
There's been no drop-off in his stuff, I'll say that. And 94 pitches, fastball still popping, 92, 93. 6 strikeouts for Kyle in the game. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Murphy. The pitch is pulled foul. That's why Riley's hugging the line. That was close. It's 2-2.
For those of you new to the game, when you have a player hugging the line, that's called no doubles defense, where you don't want a ball to go down that line and get a runner into scoring position.
So Murphy will see a 6th pitch. He has a 2nd inning single and almost got hit. Full count. Remember, he was robbed by Michael Harris, that great running catch in the 5th inning to spoil his perfect night. Now for Kyle, this is a very important pitch. You've got Pache, then you've got Kemp lurking. AJ Minter is getting ready in the Braves bullpen in case Kyle has any difficulty. And his 3-2 pitch is rifled to right. Ronald had to battle the LED lights, and he stayed with it, made the play. Oh, that's a lonely feeling, isn't it, Brian, in a 1-run game?
It's definitely a lonely feeling. Ron did the right thing. Ronald Acuna did. Get down low. And, man, that ball came out of the lights. He was right there to make the play. But you got to get low. If he stands up, you're going to lose the ball. Look at Kyle Wright. That's what I expect out of my defense. Great job, guys.
Acuna, turn your brights off.
Pache, the hitter, he's 0 for 2.
Congratulations to Kyle Wright, who now has pitched into the 8th inning and gotten an out. I don't know that we would have said that in the 1st.
After 3 straight hits and 2 runs started his night, but he buckled down and has given up just 2 hits since.
Wow, I thought he committed there for a strike.
Olsen off the line and back of the bag at first. Riley hugs the line at 3rd. The pitch went after that one, and it's a ball and a strike.
It was almost the exact thing he did the first pitch.
I'm a pitcher, so I'm obviously going to agree with you.
No sign of a bunt there, and he's behind 1-2. So the magical 100 pitch count mark for Kyle Wright. He's thrown triple digits in back-to-back starts. He needed 101 pitches to get through 6 innings in Arizona with 3-hit shutout ball. The 1-2 is on the ground right to Dansby. Pache will roll out, 2 away. 13 straight have been retired. Top of the order coming up. First, quick word from Academy Sports and Outdoors.
With our free in-store assembly and pre-assembled grills and smokers, buy online at academy.com and pick up in-store. So keep those grilling plans at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Here's what I like about those 101 pitches. 71 of them are strikes.
Hasn't hurt himself with walks. Not a single one tonight. And as we said at the beginning of the game, if there was a, I don't want to say blemish, but something you wanted to keep an eye on, efficiency, ball 4 versus strike 3. So far tonight, 6 strikeouts, no walks.
And the big reason for that is he's getting ahead of hitters. And that's been the recipe for success in all of these starters. The only one on the road that did not get ahead of hitters was Charlie Morton, and he struggled.
Changeup, back-to-back changeups. And now Kyle Wright is 1 strike away from 8 innings complete. Big crowd urging on the kid right-hander. Here comes the 1-2. Struck him out. What a way to finish. He retires the last 14 in a row. Kyle Wright with 7 strikeouts. The Braves go to the home 8th looking for some insurance. They've hit 3 solo homers and Kyle Wright's masterpiece in Game 1 against the A's.
Atlanta Braves Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Well, a career night for Kyle Wright. The first time he's gotten 1, much less 3 outs in the 8th inning of a big league game. And Brian Snitker is going to give him a pat on the back and say, nicely done, young man. 7 strikeouts, guys, no walks.
Absolutely love it. And that's a great feeling when you're a young pitcher in the game and your manager comes over, BJ, with a heartfelt handshake and a big smile, and you start to establish yourself as a major league pitcher.
You know, the best thing about it is he didn't panic. Gave up 2 runs early. And to me, that shows the maturity of Kyle Wright. Again, last year that may not have happened. Give up 2 runs early, he might have lost it. But not now, man. He is a different pitcher. His demeanor is different. He is in total control.
This is Zach Jackson, the new pitcher for the A's, facing Matt Olson. More than a strikeout per inning pitched, but he'll walk you if you let him. This young man was originally drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays. Then Oakland plucked him in the Rule 5 draft. Like so many youngsters, did not play in the minors due to COVID in 2020. And made their opening day roster here in 2022. He's got kind of a funky arm action, doesn't he?
Absolutely. You know, you don't teach that as a pitching coach, but when it happens naturally and just the way you throw the ball and you get outs and throw strikes reasonably, and you have that deception added to that, you don't change a thing.
Way high for Matt Olson, who's not afraid to take ball 4. So as Matt said before the game to Nick Green, this is just another game as he faces his former club for the first time. Matt's had a good night with a single and 3 trips. And strike 3. Olson's rung up. He thought he earned ball 4. That one might have shaved off the outside edge for out number 1.
Oh, just a good pitch. Looked like a changeup away. right on the corner of the plate. Too close to take, Paul.
No, you're right. Got to give credit where credit is due. That's a strike.
It's a tough pitch, though, after seeing fastballs up, and then nasty changeup down and away.
Ozzie, the hitter, with one out. And he pops the first one past Eric Young, the Braves' first base coach. Ron Washington, a former Oakland Athletic, and coach with the A's, is the Braves' third base coach.
Absolute legend wherever he coaches.
Such a good guy.
Works hard, very likable.
Ozzie doubled off the left center field wall his last time and was a little late on a good live fastball at 95 miles an hour.
Our partner Chip Carey called the homer, and he was 2 feet away from being right.
What do they say about a broken clock? 0-2 the count with one out. And Ozzie up and out of the strike zone. He's chasing that pitch a little too much. More on that in a moment. First, a quick message from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Here's Marcel. He's 0-for-3. 2 ground outs and a pop-up. His 7-game hit streak is on the line here. Braves trying to win the first game of the homestand, win their 6th straight game. They'll send Ian Anderson to the mound tomorrow night. And on the recoil, Marcell Ozuna plunked Murphy in the helmet.
Ozuna has such a long swing. A lot of times he does that.
Think how many times that happened to Johnny Bench or Yogi Berra or Ellie Howard before the helmets were worn behind the plate.
Man, can't imagine.
It's the wool caps with a little leather protection in the top of the wool cap.
That's why Yogi said so many ridiculous things.
That's one reason why.
Okay.
Just saying.
1 ball, 1 strike. And fouled away.
They didn't check for concussions back then, huh?
No, we didn't even know what a concussion was back then. About the NFL, huh? The leather helmets at one time.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine those times with leather helmets. As hard as we used to hit.
Two balls, 2 strikes. A big and important homestand for the Braves as Kenley Jansen's getting ready for the 9th inning. Oakland rebuilding, Pittsburgh rebuilding. Braves have 6 games against those 2 squads here at home. A chance to make up some ground before we hit the road again. And Ozuna's a little late, and Mr. Jackson just struck out the side and made it look pretty easy. To the 9th we go. Kenley Jansen on to preserve a 1-run Atlanta game.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity. Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life. And by Yamaha Boats and Wave Runners.
Big crowd tonight in Atlanta. Looking forward to a clean 9th inning from Kenley Jansen. You see that on our Xfinity Live look cam. Kenley is on to save the game for Kyle Wright, who pitched 8 brilliant innings with 7 strikeouts and no walks. Back in the 5th inning, one of the best plays we've seen in the outfield all year. Michael Harris with a great catch to rob Mr. Murphy of an extra base hit. When Andrew Jones says, wow,
exactly,
you know it's a great play. So Kenley could use a clean outing. His last 1-2-3 inning came on May 17th. So it's 8 straight games for Kenley with at least 1 base runner. And in a 1-run game, that is important, especially with this part of the order coming up. Andrews, Laureano, and Lowry are the Oakland hitters. 3-2, Braves lead it.
That's another great thing about Wright going 8 innings. And I'm going to use the word if because I don't want Twitter hate mail. But if he locks it down, congratulations to the guys in the bullpen. You will get 2 days off, and that's really, really big.
Elvis Andrus ahead in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. High fly ball to left. No carry to that. Kenley Jansen is 2 outs away. Fans get out and play this play ball weekend, June 10th through the 12th. Free events are being held in communities across the country. Register your kids today. Visit MLB.com/playballweekend for all the information. 15 straight A's hitters have been retired tonight. Laureano has both Oakland RBIs. Braves are trying to hand the Athletics their 7th straight loss. They've scored 12 runs in this stretch. 2 tonight on 5 hits. The pitch. And there's the cutter low. 1 ball, no strikes. Kenley looking for his 15th save in 18 tries. Laureano tried to hit that to Alvarado.
Yes, he did.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Chip, you talked about Jackson and the deception for Oakland. Kenley with the little hip shimmy, the dropped arm, the pause, release over the top, and the late cutter movement.
To center. Harris slowing shy of the track. 2 outs.
Yeah, you talk about the deception. He drops that arm back really long. And, I mean, that's a weapon. I mean, pitchers that can do that make it really tough on hitters.
He hides it so well and doesn't continue it. He pauses.
The Braves are an out away from their 8th 1-run victory of the year. And Jed Lowry, the cleanup man, a dangerous left-hand hitter, stands in the way of that. And by left-handed, I mean batting left-handed against the right-hand pitching Kenley Jansen. He's a switch hitter by trade. Strike 1 for Lowry. Three solo homers, Kyle Wright and Kenley Jansen, the recipe so far tonight. Broke his bat, and Olson handles that in foul ground. 0-2. One more pitch, perhaps, will make it 6 straight wins. Everybody up here at Truist Park. He got him. What a way to finish. 17 straight Oakland A's hitters were retired. The Braves get 3 solo leadoff homers, 2 from Ronald Acuna Jr., 1 from Guillermo Heredia, and Kyle Wright, who gave up hits to the first 3 hitters and 2 runs, gave up nothing else, and the homestand is off to a terrific start. Here was the game-changing offensive play. It came in the 7th inning. Guillermo Heredia ambushed a Trevino pitch, hit it over the bullpen. A solo home run for the 3rd Atlanta run. Here are the metrics. Our StatCast 3D presented by Google Cloud.
How about that? I'm so happy for this kid. He's been sitting on the bench watching a lot, but he is the hero tonight, ambushing that first pitch for a bomb. Big win for the Braves. You talk about pitching and defense winning games. Wow, Kyle Wright gives up 2 runs early, and Jansen's closing the door. That's perfect Braves baseball right there.
You got it. And I'll say this to quote Heredia, this is no time to be humble. Stay cocky. Braves got to make playoffs, got to get going, and they're doing that, Chip.
And tomorrow they will send Ian Anderson to the mound against Jack Koenig, a tall left-hander who will make his major league debut as the Braves will try to win their 7th straight game and sweep this 2-game series. We will have it for you here on Bally Sports beginning at 6:30 Eastern Time. Great night in Atlanta. Great to be home. Braves 3, Oakland 2. For Nick Green, Paul Burton, Brian Jordan, Chip Carey inviting you to stick around. Braves Live presented by Xfinity is next.